I think we put actually too much emphasis on that. And I think it's because we try to live up to the status quo of what we see constantly, be it on TV or on social media, of course. But just trying to live up to what we see and mirroring what we see. Because, of course, you know, if you are seeing it and looking at it constantly in your eye gate, it then becomes something that you attempt to take on.
Episode of Kingdom Women Talk, where we encourage, validate, and empower others to do life. Today we're going to be talking about body image, right? It's the month of love. Why not talk about body image? People are so self-conscious about their bodies, what they like, what they don't like, and very judgmental, self-critical about their body and their body image. So I guess I posed the question, body image, love it or not? Love it or not?
I think we put actually too much emphasis on that. And I think it's because we try to live up to the status quo of what we see constantly. Be it on TV or on social media, of course. But just trying to live up to what we see and mirroring what we see. Because, of course, you know, if you are seeing it and looking at it constantly in your eye gate, it then becomes something that you attempt to take on.
Right.
So I just think that absolutely we should love who we are. Love who we are and authentically be you. Like, I've run into and had this conversation multiple times within the last few weeks about being authentic. And I was even having it with a group of leaders, and just people are not authentically who they are.
Yeah.
Just be who you are.
I'm glad that you said that about being who you are and being authentic, because I think in my older years, as I think back to the younger me, even though I was smaller, like a 5, size 5, I'm more comfortable in this 12, 14 than I was in that 5, right? In that 5, I was still uncomfortable with my body, didn't want to show it, didn't want to cover it up. It just had a bunch of isms about it, right? Where now it's like I'm very comfortable in the skin I am. Yeah. Do I want to get all this flattened out? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, whether it is or it isn't, I'm still okay with it. Yeah. Where even in my smallest, I wasn't okay with that. Which then it made me think about, like, where does that come from? And you're right. It's things that we hear. It's things that we see. People are so critical and so judgmental. Always got something to say. Always talking, right? And they don't understand that even though it's just talk, or sometimes it's jokes or whatever it is, it begins to build a wall that you are unaware of.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know that it's building brick by brick by brick by brick because it's just kind of fun and games, laughy, jokey, ha. Or sometimes it's just mean-spirited people. But at the end of the day, when you realize it, because maybe you're getting dressed or maybe you're looking at buying something and you're like, no, I wouldn't look good on that. I wouldn't. We become to own those things that people have said about us.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
I know I've said it once, but I'm going to say it again. And I'm being transparent for myself. Body image. Again, if you have not healed the inner child within yourself,
Correct.
the body image, because I was tall, skinny, bow-legged, as a young adult, in my 20s. And it was okay then, but when I was younger, 7, 6 or whatever, nappy hair, skinny, bow-legged, that's what I heard. So as I got older, that's all I saw.
Yeah.
Tall, skinny, nappy-headed. And so I hid myself. You have to encourage me. How many times you say, you ought to get that. That would look so nice on you. Or you send me, this dress would look so nice on you. I am growing into, I can stand out. I can look
absolutely.
good. You know what I mean? I don't have to hide any longer. So
That's
I
right.
think a lot of people hide behind their body image. If they're overweight, they hide behind that.
Yeah.
If they're small, they hide behind that. So we first have to acknowledge, like you said, be authentically who you are. If you're comfortable being a big, healthy girl,
Be that.
be that big, healthy
Be
girl.
that.
If you're comfortable with being a tall, slender, skinny, whatever they call you,
Be
be
that,
comfortable,
yeah.
because at the end of the day, who do you go home with? You.
You.
Who do you
That's
wake up
right.
with? You.
Yeah.
Who do you look in the mirror at? You.
Yeah.
So, we have to, again, acknowledge where we're coming from in our body image. And if it's been tainted in any way, that's something we'll have to deal with
Yeah.
so that we can be authentically who we are and stop trying to be Kim Kardashian, Lil Kim, or Beyonce, or all these people have people that they pay to make them look good.
Absolutely.
Right.
All these people pay money to expensive plastic surgeons to keep them young looking. As I'm getting older, I appreciate the fact that I'm getting older. Even though stuff is drooping, melting, going other ways,
Not
I
melting.
still appreciate who I am. Well, they say black don't crack,
But it
but
melt?
it does melt.
Oh.
So,
Wait. I'm going to need a moment. Wait.
It melts,
Look,
Sheila.
wait 1 minute.
It melts.
When did it? Wait 1 minute. Melt.
melts.
Okay.
When the girls start sliding down,
Carry on. Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Anywho,
Oh, Lord Jesus.
so as we get older,
Ah.
I know for me, I'm not trying to do all the collagen and the this and the that
Yeah.
and the lifts and the this and, yes, I want to stay healthy looking. Yes, I probably could be exercising more, but I'm still comfortable at this age in my life and how my body looks.
That's
Yeah.
really good. And on top of that, I love the fact that you talked about healing the inner child, because sometimes we're not comfortable in our body because we are masking. We are hiding, right? Because maybe something happened inappropriate. So then we mask with our body that you can't see me, or you won't want me, right? You won't pay me any attention. I don't look flattering to you. It's a form of hiding in plain sight, especially when there's some element of trauma there. Right?
Yeah, that's that armor.
Correct. So you're right. Sometimes it's beyond we have to look deeper than the image. Why? Where does that come from? Get to the root of that and heal that we can be comfortable in our image. Because at the
Absolutely.
end of the day, the Lord created us in His own image.
Yes, He did.
Right.
Yes.
It's like giving the gift giver their gift back. Right. They create you and you be like, no, Lord, I don't want that. You can have that back, and then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna fix my own self up the way I want to see it. Right.
Okay, Lord, thank you, but
Right.
you could have made these a little bigger, but I'll take care of that.
Right.
You could have lifted that a little higher, but I'll take care of
But
that.
it's like I made you in my image.
Yeah.
I created you and patterned you after me.
Right.
Right. You're my own. And we're like, it's really telling the Lord, you ain't do a good job.
Right.
Yeah.
You ain't hit the mark, Lord. You missed it on that one. How dare us? Right? Instead of learning to love whatever we look like on the outside, whatever color hair, whatever color eyes,
If you got big
whatever.
hair.
It don't matter. You know, cosmetically, you can enhance whatever you want to
Absolutely.
enhance. But not to the detriment of, in my opinion, not to the detriment of trying to love you, because you're never going to fill that void cosmetically.
But it's so many women that do, go and get the BBLs done, but they don't feel,
Correct.
about themselves the way that they should. They don't love themselves. They're doing it to obtain that love,
Yes.
to get to that place, but
Yeah.
it's never reached.
Correct, because that outside is banging, but that inside is raggedy, right?
Yeah.
You've never dealt with all of that. It's in the inside. So we should deal with the inside, that our outside will also be beautiful.
And I think that should be a requirement for any woman or man that chooses to get plastic surgery. I think they should have some sort of counseling first. Because when gastric bypasses first started coming out, you had to have counseling sessions before you could go get that done. Because the body was going to start changing.
And well, not only that, if you don't change your view
Yeah.
about how you see yourself,
Right.
you can be a size 5 coming from a 25, and you still may see a 25.
Yes.
You're still going to dress like a 25. You're
Right.
still going to, have the same emotional distress about being a 25.
Or you're going to go way over to the other side.
Yeah. Which is something that has to be dealt with. So really, our body image may stem from an internal, a self issue.
Yes.
And we have to manage that piece of it.
Right.
And I don't know what woman who hasn't had some type of self issue, whether they would want more of this, less of that, move this around, shake this up.
Right.
So how do we find to love ourselves? How do we find to love ourselves?
I mean, I think the process is, just starting with, sometimes it could just be, writing down how you feel about yourself and processing that from that piece of paper.
Oh, that's
good.
good.
Getting it out of your head.
Yeah.
And just getting the thoughts out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And processing it one by one, until you're fully, or feel like you're complete with yourself and you're okay with how you look.
Right.
Or do an inventory. Get butt ball in front of the mirror. What I don't like about this. Why? What don't I like about this? Why? Why am I unhappy with this? Ask those questions, like you said. Do an inventory, but look at yourself and do an inventory.
Right.
Am I saying I don't like this because I want them to be like it was when I was 20? You're not 20 anymore. You're 62.
And I think maybe there's some of it. Accepting the aging gracefully.
Right.
Yeah.
Accepting
that's
that, because
true.
you're right. Society says we have to stay hip, young, and looking a
younger.
certain kind of way
Yes.
when we are aging gracefully.
Yes.
We're aging gracefully. So we have to accept that. But then also, I don't know why I keep going back to this inner child. parents, we play a role in what body image looks like. We play a huge role because it starts very young and it can go into adulthood,
Yes.
right? Or sometimes it starts in adulthood, but it stems from something, right?
Right.
So for a moment, let's just talk about the children and how we see children nowadays that have body image when they should only be thinking about Tonka trucks and Barbie dolls, right?
Yeah.
But they are trying to mask and not liking who they are, what they look like on the outside. That stems from us as parents.
Yeah, because I was going to
Yeah.
say, is it the children or is it the parents? Because you see so many children on Facebook and the parents have them dressed like miniature adults.
Yeah.
Is it for the views? Is it for the likes? I don't know. But when we're dressing our children like me and my baby we looking alike. I got on leopard print. She got on leopard print leggings. Mine are tight. I'm just saying that we have to be mindful
Yeah.
of the image that we're showing our children, because if we're only concerned about how the outside looks, then that's what our kids are going to be concerned with, how the outside looks.
Yeah.
If we're, saying, no, you can't have any candy because that'll rot your teeth out and make you fat.
Yeah.
What did they didn't hear
About the teeth.
The
about
teeth.
the teeth. What they heard was it'll make me fat.
Candy
Right.
makes you fat.
Or no, I don't want you eating that because it'll break your skin out. So you get pimples and you now feel it's because you ate that.
Or sometimes it's just that as parents, we have to watch our words.
Yes.
Because our words bring forth life.
Yes.
Which means that we don't know that we are, but sometimes the shame about our bodies could have come from our parents.
Right.
Just subtle things. Your butt is getting so big, you a whole nother size up.
Yeah.
Right. Someone could process that as, I got a big butt and I don't need a big butt. Right. Like that's a bad thing.
Right.
When
Right.
it just could be how your body is shaped. So
Yeah.
we have to be careful about what we say, but also as adults, we have to be careful what we say to other adults.
Very
Husbands have to be careful what they say to wives, right? Because all this stuff then shapes how we see our bodies.
Right.
You have marriage relationships where husbands don't want to be seen naked in front of wives, and wives don't want to be seen naked in front of husbands because they're ashamed of their bodies. Right? Why? Because something was said. But what, ma'am, you got something to say?
I was just going to say I wasn't ashamed.
And I don't think that we doubted for a moment
Okay.
that you were. We didn't think that you. It never entered my mind that you were ashamed.
Me or my husband.
We
I
never.
can say that. God rest his sweet soul.
Yeah, we never thought that.
Okay. Just wanted to put it out there.
Thank you for sharing. But we do have to be mindful because you have some situations out there
Yeah,
where
for
they're very
real.
concerned or concerned about how they look. You have some people that go to bed with makeup on.
But
Very true.
even in the area of intimacy, the lights have to be off. She still got her nightgown on. What? Lights have to be off and you got your nightgown on?
With your husband.
With your husband? We're about to be intimate. I gotta pull all that up, and it's too much work. Never mind.
Lord have mercy.
At least that's what my husband used to tell me.
But see the difference? He was encouraging the body.
Right.
Right? But you have some on the other hand,
Yeah.
they hear some derogatory things.
Yeah,
And so therefore they're like, don't look.
right.
Right. So that's why it's important that husbands have to watch what they say
Yes.
to build up their wives
Right.
and not tear them down. But wives also have to watch what they say to
Yes.
build up their husbands. You can't be talking
That's
about fat
true.
stomach, big butt, gut, whatever. No, that's going to make them feel a certain kind of way. The same way we would feel a certain kind of way if they said the same thing about us, butt, gut, what have you, right?
Yeah.
So we have to watch our words, and then we also have to watch it with our children.
Yes,
Right. You can't be talking about long head, big nose. That's what they're going to think.
yes.
Whether
Oh,
it's
girl,
a
your
joke.
hair is nappy.
Right.
You know, oh, you got this thick, unruly hair. And,
Right.
you know, or just while we may not mean harmfully, but it's still the fact that that's what our children hear.
Yes.
That's what people hear.
Yes. Yes.
You know, they don't know that it may not be facetious.
Right.
They just hear it and it sounds bad.
Right. Correct. So automatically it's
They
not
think
what you
I got
want.
bad hair.
Yes, it's not
Yeah.
what you want. And then they begin to repeat those things, right? A man that thinketh, so is he.
Right.
So now
Yeah.
they done owned it. When you're right, they didn't mean it in a facetious manner, but the fact that we said. So we just have to watch all the way around. But we also body shame people we don't know. Look at so and so over there. Look at that right there. She knows she shouldn't have that on. That's equivalent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to be mindful all the way around, because what does it do? It corrupts the heart.
And the spirit.
Yes, it corrupts the heart and the spirit, and that's not what God wants. He wants us to embrace how He created us,
Yes.
the good, the bad, and the ugly, because He didn't create those things. Remember, we still have parents who passed on some of these things down to us, right? So we have to embrace those things. And so what have you found for the things that you don't like? 'Cause it's always something we don't like about our bodies or our image. I won't say body, because sometimes it's our image, right? What have you done? What have worked for you to be able to overcome that?
I think for me, just, you know, I just accept me for me, you know? And, you know,
Right.
for those who don't, that's not even my problem.
Say that loud for the people in the
That's
back.
not my problem.
It's not. And
It's not my problem.
don't nobody care.
That they have to deal with that.
Right there.
Don't nobody care.
It's none of my business what you think of me and how I look. That's not my business.
Yeah.
That's not my. If you don't like how I dress, okay, buy me some clothes.
And no, not even that. It's okay.
That's it. Right?
Period. Okay.
It's okay.
And you don't. Okay.
But I'm going to dress the way I want to dress. I'm going to wear what I want to wear, when I want to wear it, how I want to wear it.
Correct.
Because this is what makes me feel comfortable.
So you have to find what works for you.
Yes.
And it's may not look like anybody else. I think
Absolutely.
we have to accept that, right?
Yeah.
That sometimes it's not going to look like this one or that one.
Right.
It may be just your own uniqueness.
Yes.
And embrace that and be
Right.
comfortable with that.
Yep.
Because that's who we are. And if you can't, then find ways to do so. Right?
And then find out why you can't. Because there's a reason why you
Yes.
can't.
Get to the
Find
root of
out,
it.
get to the root of why you can't, why you feel that you wear clothes is 2 sizes too big for you.
Or you're always covered up.
Yeah. I mean, I know why I did. It was, like I said before, past episodes, I was trying to hide. I didn't want to be seen. If I wasn't seen, then no man could do anything to me inappropriately. So as a youngster, you know, I did that. Growing up, I did that. So as I got older, that's what I did. But it wasn't until after I started dating Ray, you know, that I was like, oh, he likes what he sees, okay. You know, but I did that, you know, I was comfortable because he liked what he saw. But I was still struggling in some areas, you know.
Okay.
Right.
But I had to grow myself without the acknowledgement of somebody else saying,
Right.
you know, I like you in that. Or, you know how some people say, oh, you look good today. My mom would go, didn't I look good yesterday?
Rather than receive it as a
Right,
compliment,
right,
it was
yeah.
always a negative.
Right. I didn't look good yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's also helpful to remind ourselves, don't measure ourselves by anyone else.
Right.
Because oftentimes we'll look and be like, well, so-and-so has this, or so-and-so looks this way, or so-and-so, and then we try to emulate.
Right.
And that may not be what's working,
No.
what's working for us, you know. So we have to be okay. We got to get to the point where we're okay with who we are and how God created us, inside and out. And if we are unsure about those things, spend time with the Father
Yes.
and let him heal the broken places, that we can be whole people. Because when we don't like it, there's a crack somewhere.
Yes.
There's a crack
Very
somewhere.
true.
Yes.
So, good conversation about body image. It's important that we love how God created us, and we grow to love ourselves as well. And if we don't, then we find out why. I think that's the key. Finding the why and healing the why. Or laying it on the altar and let the Lord do the work.
Amen.
Right? Good conversation. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Kingdom Women Talk. Please continue to like and share and follow us on YouTube and Instagram, and also post your comments about what are your thoughts about body image, like it or not. And we would love to hear from you. Until next time, be blessed. Bye. Bye.